Damn, I figured it out. Go live. I'm live. Oh, what's going on over on YouTube? Wait. At 9:02. Oh, fucking about time. Good God, that was about 5 minutes after the fact. YouTube is like 30 seconds behind StreamYard. What the fuck? Oh, let's get my cool glasses on. Come on, y'all. In here and come in and hang out with me. Yeah. Doo-doo-doo. Scenes. People show up. Where are they going to be? Yeah, should have seen people. Come on in, hang out. Show comments on stage. Comments. We need comments. Welcome to Skip's Playhouse, where we destroy shit. We need shit. Yeah, we destroy shit. I'm live. Where's everybody? 2 watching now. There are 2 watching. Yeah, I think one of them. Mic started. For the one person who's in here, I got the mic started. And the reason it wouldn't start was because I had so much oil. It needs the second. Let me shut this guy down. Shut up, you. All right. So the reason it wouldn't start is because I had so much oil. I put oil in the cylinder. I put oil on the ring. I put oil on the wrist pin bearing. I lubricated the cylinder and then put it all together. And I used a lot of oil. And all that oil was soaking the spark plug time after time after time. I'd pull the spark plug out and it would be just soaking wet, dry it off, stick it back in, pedal up and down the street. And it would be like pop, 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 boom, boom. So I'd pull the plug out again, dry it off, stick it back in, ride up and down the street, pop, pop, boom, boom. Pull it out, dry it off, stick it back in, ride up and down the street, pop, 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 pop. Brr. Pull it. I did it like 15. I swear to God, I did this like 15, 20 times. I had to keep cleaning that plug off until it finally started. Every time I did it, it would pop a little bit more. I'd get a couple more pops. So I knew I was on the right trail. Nobody's here. Nobody fucking here. There's 2 people. 2 people watching. 1 person might be watching, but I did get it started. But so here's what happened. I kept sticking my camera in my pocket, but I was so soaked in sweat that the sweat kept making the camera cut off. So I don't have a video of riding it, but it ran like shit. It ran like shit. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. I think I'm gonna guess that the piston ramping is too much. That's what I think is going on. I ramped that piston and that raised the transfers, effectively raised the transfers. And I did it 0.5 millimeter less than what I raised the exhaust, thinking that, that'll be enough to compensate. Plus the exhaust is a little bit wider. wrong. Apparently, I don't know. I'm gonna stick it on the wheel and try to learn some shit about that and see what happens. But I got the feeling that the ramped piston is the problem because it destroys what little squish I had. It destroys that, and it doesn't leave enough blowdown time. Apparently, the blowdown is. Raul, did you check your electric setup? Yeah, Raul, I got it to start, dude. What was wrong was the when I put it together, I put oil on everything. I put oil on the ring, the cylinder, the piston, the wrist pin. You know, I really soaked it to make sure it had good oil on startup for the first time, and it was too much. It kept soaking the spark plug. The spark plug kept getting really soaked, and let me put the link up if you guys want to come in here. But it kept soaking that spark plug. No, I'm using the same old spark plug, but I cleaned it off. There was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with that spark plug. I cleaned it off, but after I kept pulling it out and wiping the wetness off, it was soaking wet. It was just soaking wet with oil. So I did that like 15 times. I swear to God, like 15 times until I finally got it to start. So it started up. And but it runs like shit because I think the timing is just wrong. I took a wild guess with the piston ramping and the port. I knew the porting of the piston. I mean, the porting of the cylinders is good. That's got to be good. There can't be anything wrong with that because all I did was I raised the port 2 millimeters, that much, 2 millimeters, and I made it 1.5 millimeters wider, that much. So. Did you try using paper gasket for bottom of cylinder? Yeah, it's got paper gasket on the bottom of the cylinder. Of course. Yes. Paper gasket on the bottom of the cylinder. Yes. There. It's got all the gaskets in it. The compression feels good. I'm convinced that it's that ramped piston. When I ramped that piston, I took away all the blowdown time. You might need another one. No, I put a new one on, dude. It's got an. Are you trying to use 2 paper gas? No, I'm not jacking up the cylinder, Raul. I'm changing the timing by simply porting and ramping the piston. Only one paper gasket on the bottom, just like it had before. I didn't change anything about the gaskets other than the gaskets. I got away with reusing the same exhaust gasket and intake gasket, but you can do that. You know, if you pull them off and they come off in one piece and they look fine, you can reuse them. Even though I might replace them again later. But also, did you put the Yes, I put the piston clips back in. Did you see that shit last night? I got it all finished and fucking found the fucking wrist pin clips on the fucking table. And I'm like, fuck, I fucking forgot to put the fucking clips in it. So I fucking stayed up till like 3:30 last night putting them in. Took it all back apart and put it back together. And yeah. So it would only run to like 4,000 RPM. It was running like shit. Over at Jared's, you say you forgot something. Yeah, I forgot the fucking wrist pin clips. Forgot to put the wrist pin clips in. No, I put them in after the show. When I discovered that I had forgotten to put them in, it was already like 12:30, and the show was going to end in 30 minutes. So I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just going to spend the rest of the show getting high with Jared." So when the show was over, I fixed it. And now I'm about to tear it apart again because I'm gonna put a regular piston back in it. I got another piston. I got another regular old piston. Now we'll throw that one in there, and I'll bet you that'll fix everything. Everything will be wonderful. It'll work out just as I had envisioned originally. Because I was trying to get, I'm trying to get from the lower 6,000 RPMs to somewhere around 7,000, dependably. I could get to 7,000. One will that will fit. Let's see that one what that will fit. One what? One what? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. But the goal was to get to 7,000 RPM, dependably. You know, like on at will. You know, I could hit 7,000 on a good day with a little bit of tailwind, but you know, it really wasn't there. So that was where I'd really like to be, 7,000 at this point, at least. That's what I feel like is fast to me. Is it a high or low hole? It's a low. It's a. Fuck, Raul. Oh, I don't know, man. I know it's the right piston. I know it's the same as the piston that came in it. I think this is a. I don't know. I don't know. I forget what they look like. I'm thinking this is a low hole based on the way it looks, but it could be a high hole. I don't know. Can't tell. I don't know. I forget what they look like now. It's been so long since I've seen one. But it's the same. It's the same piston that came in the bike. So in the motor originally. So I do know that. I do know it's a perfect match. But yeah, it appears that there's just not enough blowdown. Did Jared tell you that I got electrocuted? Yeah, I heard about that. Try to get power to run charging coil and got zapped. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that the test was successful. You successfully tested the system. Yeah, we were talking about that last night. He said he's going to get you some insulated flip flops so you don't electrocute yourself no more, so you won't be grounded. See, that's what happens when you work in your socks. You're fucking grounded to the fucking socks. Socks are just, the insulating value of socks is just not there, dude. Yeah, I got the power. So yeah, I rode around the neighborhood on it a couple times, man. I couldn't get it past 4,000 RPM. Couldn't get it past 4,000. I was like, son of a bitch, man. I fucking best laid plans. I fucking had it all fucking planned out. I fucking fudged the math and everything and fucking still fucked it up. But I know it's going to be pretty good if I put that regular piston in there, because with the regular piston in there, the blowdown time definitely will be increased. 2 whole millimeters. It's going to increase that blowdown. And that's by consensus on the internet seems to be the leading reason that the G4 just doesn't rev very high, because there's just not enough blowdown. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that electrical system. I just want to see how much power it's going to zap out of your motor, man. Probably not a lot, but I don't know. It depends on how many watts it makes, because every watt that it makes, it's taking away from your horsepower. No free energy. You can measure gas powered motor in watts too. So I wonder where everybody is. Nobody's coming in here. It's just me and fucking you. So there ain't nobody gonna come in here. I'm not gonna stay here much longer. I figured people would want to know. People need to know. Inquiring minds want to know if Skip's bike ran today. No one cares. No one fucking cares. The port timing. Dave Amos, the port timing guy I know, man. I know Dave. You know, me and Dave haven't gotten along. Dave said some shit to me a while back And it's like, no, you can't be my friend and say shit like that to me. And until Dave comes to me and fucking, tells me he wants to bury the hatchet, me and him ain't friends. We can't be friends because of the shit he said to me. I mean, it was like get punched in the face time shit that he fucking was talking. I'm not gonna put up with that shit. I don't care how many people fucking like him. You can't go around fucking saying shit like he was saying. That ain't gonna work. If he wants to bury the hatchet, that's fine. If he wants, I'll fucking bury the hatchet with him. But he's gonna have to say something to me. I ain't saying shit to him. Fuck him. Same with Leonard. Leonard talking shit out the fucking ass. Fucking saying shit that you wouldn't fucking say to a fucking grown man to his face. Yeah, I got one at the time. I made a timing wheel roll. I made one. How about that, right? That was my Sunday afternoon art project that I did last week. I made a timing wheel. I figure it's accurate to within 1 degree. It's accurate to within 1 degree. Yeah, now I got to use it. Yeah, so it looks like I screwed up with the port timing. It's probably not enough blowdown. The transfers are opening too soon, probably, is my guess. Although I can't believe it because I fucking added an extra 0.5 millimeter in between the two. I figured that would have covered it. But fucking no, it's not fucking working. But I'll throw that extra piston I got in there and find out for sure tomorrow. He and Leo and Dave so full of themselves. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if people are full of themselves, but fucking don't fucking make threats to people. Don't be a fucking moron about it. Fucking, we're all fucking assholes. I can fucking deal with an asshole. Anyway, I don't like to fucking even talk about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. If they're so threatened by my intellect, my fucking expertise and intellect, man, threatened them so bad that they had to freak the fuck out. It seems to be a thing in the motorized bicycle community that we've got a lot of fucking retards, a lot of low brain cell count motherfuckers. More testosterone than fucking brains. So that's how I got here. Fucking low fucking testosterone and no fucking brains. I'm telling you. I told Lucky to modify his clutch my way, and a few days later his clutch pintle rod hitch broke. Seems my fix is the way. His clutch pintle rod hitch broke. You mean the part that goes like this? The fucking, the fucking actual part that connects to the cable? Clutch pintle rod hitch broke. So you're saying that the actuator wasn't strong enough to handle the spring? Is that what you're trying to tell us? My original China doll black motor broke the same way. Huh. You can increase the pressure that spring exerts just by spinning that little fucking collar on that thing that holds the spring. You take off the fucking the cable stay, the fucking, the hole in the crankcase, pull that out, stick a screwdriver in there. You can see it. You look in there with a flashlight. You can see there's a collar with notches cut in it. And you stick a screwdriver in there, roll the bike backwards, and it tightens that collar and compresses the spring so that the pressure that it exerts at rest is stronger than it would be, when it's expanded like that. I don't know how many pounds, you can gain that way, but you can do it that way. The spring pounds has a way of bending shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. That the spring you're using is so fucking strong that it's bending. The parts can't compress it without being bent. Yeah, I understood that. Yeah, so I don't know if you give that collar a few turns, how many more pounds of pressure you can get out of the stock spring, but it might be enough for a guy like Lucky. My fix is hardened steel doll pin alloy heat treated, holds the whole punch together. My fix is hardened steel doll. Hardened steel doll pin alloy heat treated. The fuck does that even mean? Holds the whole hardened. My fix is hardened steel doll pin alloy. Blech. I'm not even sure what the fuck that means. Well, I guess nobody else gives a fuck that I'm streaming. They all hate me. They fucking resent me for my ramped piston. It's driving them off. They're all fucking at home cussing at the walls right now. Fucking skips, fucking bit, motherfucker. Yeah, all I made was 4,000 RPM out of that motor. I mean, I only ran it for it was making a lot of heat. That motherfucker was getting hot really fast. So the first time I ran it for 1 minute. Second time I ran it for 2 minutes. Third time I ran it for 3 minutes maybe. And then I started riding it. Thanks, Raul. I appreciate you coming by. But so the motor's only got 10 minutes of total run time, maybe 12, something like that. So I'm thinking that after the end of 10 minutes, the ring should be fairly well seated, especially after I rode it. I rode it up and down the street to get some pressure on it so that the ring would seat. And fuck. So I'm pretty sure I ran it long enough to find out, is it running right? I didn't expect top performance, right out of the bag. You got to run a motor for an hour or so before it really breaks in. But I figured I had run it long enough to find out that 4,000 RPM was not going to cut it. I don't think it's going to get any better by running it again. So I'm going to go ahead and tear it apart tonight and put that other fucking piston in it. Should be pretty quick this time. Should be getting pretty good at this by now. This isn't cooled off yet. Oh, it's still a little bit warm. It was 45 minutes ago probably when I was riding it. 50 minutes ago. And you can still, 10 minutes. What mixture are you running? 32 to 1. Regular old 32 to 1. Yeah, you think the rings and everything would seat after, maybe 10 minutes of running? And that you could now gain perception of how the motor's running after about 10 minutes. It should be, starting to settle into whatever it's going to be. You should have some idea. Certainly 4,000 RPM is not what you would expect from a good motor. So What type of spark plug? The fucking NGK 6 with the fucking resistor. The NGK 6 resistor plug. Plug looked pretty perfect when I pulled it out originally. It was a little bit ashy, a little bit on the hot side, but it seemed okay. It wasn't like white ashy. It was like gray ashy. VHS I used, the 8 is a little cold. Yeah. Well, here's the deal on NGK plugs, right? The lower number plug is the hotter plug. The higher number plug is the cooler plug. On a high performance motor, you're going to want a cooler plug because the motor is going to run hotter. On a low performance motor, you're going to want a hotter plug because the motor is going to run cooler. So regular China doll guys like me run 5s, 6s, sometimes a 7. You'll never see one of us running an 8. So 6 is a little on the hot side, but not as hot as you can get. I think the lowest you can go is like 4. I'm not sure. It might be 5. I think 5 might be the end of the scale. 6 is like one notch below the hottest. So you run a hotter plug in a cold motor, and you run a cooler plug in a hot motor. Is basically what I'm saying. So I got a low performance. Yeah, most of the China doll guys that are running low performance motors, we're all running 5s, 6s, or 7s. And everybody who's running like Athenas and all the higher performance shit, they're all running 7, 8s, maybe even 9s. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's running a 9, but I know a lot of them are running 8s. So the way that shit works is you want the plug to stay warm in between. Has to be in between. Yeah, 7 seems to be like middle of the road. Yeah, 7's kind of middle of the road. And I think 6 is kind of middle of the road too, but just a little bit on the hot side. But the way that shit works is you want a plug that stays warm, but not so hot that it causes detonation. And that's why you have the different plug ranges, because of that. You want a plug that stays warm, but you don't want it to be so hot that it causes detonation. It's all the insulator cone on the fucking electrode. What is it? The hotter plug has a steeper cone, and a cold plug has a real shallow cone like that. B8 for one My Avenger 85. Yeah, he's probably right. Yeah, he's probably right. In any case, I run the 6, and it seems to run perfect on the 6. It seems like I got that part down pat on this motor. The 6 seems to be perfect for it. You were surprised that the 8 was the correct plug for it? 7 probably fine too. Oh, you're talking about the 10 millimeter part, is how long the plug screws into the cylinder head. I wasn't aware that they came in different thread lengths. I was not aware of that. I always figured it would be like a different part number or something, you know, a different spark plug if the thread length was different. Like the BH, maybe the BH would be a FH or something like that. The closer the spark plug is to the piston, make engine start faster. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. My plug comes right to the edge of the inside of the head. Like you can just sit when it would you can just see the lip of the plug poking past the surface of the head, and the electrode is above the surface of the head too when it's screwed in all the way. But it doesn't really protrude into the cylinder, it's not like this. It's like, it's right there like that in the cylinder. Different part number and stuff. Yeah, I could probably get away with sticking the plug in there a little bit further, but in my case, like Tamboy was saying last night, we were talking about why I didn't do certain things, and basically he summed it up perfectly when he said, "Well, we're just splitting fucking hairs on a fucking China doll, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's it, exactly. We're just splitting fucking hairs on a fucking China doll. We can do all these little fucking things differently, but the combined effect is still going to be barely even fucking noticeable. So, what's the fucking point of even bothering? Just put it back together the way it came apart." Like reversing the head around. On my bike, that ain't going to make any fucking difference. Not on my bike. Not any difference that you would really notice. I guess everybody's hanging out somewhere else. Bastards. Fucking bastards. My bike, the one with the bells and lights. Stuff 1-8 pop. The clutch, it starts choke. No choke. Yeah, that was the one thing that surprised me with this thing. It don't want to start with the choke on, but it'll start with the choke off, no problem. Put the choke on, and I guess it just drowns it. Now the old cylinder was the exact opposite. It needed the choke to start, but it didn't like the choke. Once it was running, it was like as soon as it started, you had to cut that choke off, or it would fucking drown it. I don't know. I'm fucking perplexed. There's no fucking way I made that fucking exhaust port too big. There's no way. It's virtually impossible. I think it's because I ramped the piston. That's what fucked up everything. Pretty sure. I know, man. I was thinking about that yesterday myself, Raul, and like knowing the size difference between the pistons and all that shit. Did you see the old piston out of my bike? Look at this motherfucker. But the size of all the parts and the and all that, man, and fucking it's got to be so much more powerful. Fucking I got some wrist clips around here for an 85 motor I accidentally ordered. And they're so much fucking bigger than the fucking wrist pin clips that go in this fucking little piston. I mean, it's like fucking, it's like comparing a real piece of equipment to a fucking toy. It really is. In a way different than 48 or 50 China doll. I know, man. I know. If I get a motor like that though, I got to get a real frame to put it on. I'm gonna wait until I got some money saved up. I got a whole bunch of fucking projects I got to get done around this fucking house, man. Or fucking I'm gonna be fucking like, the air conditioner is 30 years old. The fucking roof is on its last leg. I just got so much other shit I gotta fucking pay for before I can spend money on bikes again. And fucking but yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna get. A Venger and a felt faker. And put it all together, and that'll be my next bike. But it's gonna be a while before I can afford shit like that again. Just got too many other things I gotta pay for. Or I could just say, fuck it, who needs air conditioning? That fucking AC unit outside's got to be like 30 fucking years old. It's amazing it still fucking runs. Fucking that would drive me crazy if that fucking thing broke. I'd fucking lose my mind. Now, anyway, that's what I'm going to do, Raul. I'm going to take it back apart tonight and switch the pistons, and I guarantee that fixes everything. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Fucking, what do you think? What do you think? Guaranteed, right? Right? She'll have blowdown in, and then she'll have a lot of blowdown. All right. Fucking. I'm going to end the stream, boss. Thanks for coming by, Raul. Appreciate you coming by and talking shit and hanging out. I'll see you at Jared's tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see you. I'll see you at Jared's tomorrow. Later, dude.